Donald Trump was indicted this week for his role in the attempted overthrow of the 2020 election. Now, while this wasn't terribly surprising, the indictment had been rumored and expected for a while now, the 45-page indictment document is stunning in its breadth, its specificity, and the clarity of the story it tells about Trump and his 6 co-conspirators. Make no mistake, this is the big kahuna, the granddaddy of the indictments. It lays out in blunt terms how a president of the United States tried to use the levers of state and federal power to change the result of an election he didn't like. It's startling stuff. So I went through the whole indictment and have some takeaways from it. They're gonna come in a sec, but let me offer a bit of advice before we get to it. You should go ahead and read the indictment too. Just type it into Google, it's easily found. This is history. All right, my takeaways. Number 1, Trump knew. It's impossible to even read a page of the indictment without coming across some evidence that Donald Trump knew that what he was saying about the election was false. Time and time again in the indictment, Trump makes a claim only to be told by someone, either in the White House or in his campaign, that the claim is simply not borne out by facts. And yet, time and time again, he repeats the lies publicly, often via Twitter. The Trump argument, at least as it's being framed in these early days, is that he truly believed that he had been cheated, even if everyone else told him he in fact hadn't. It's the old "it's not a lie if you believe it" thing, George Costanza reference. But I find it very hard to see that case, given the number of times Trump was told over the course of several months that what he was saying was simply false. He would have to be unbelievably obtuse for that message not to sink in. Takeaway number 2, Mike Pence as the star witness. The former vice president appears to be an inveterate note taker. Over and over again in the indictment, there are references to the contemporaneous notes that he took and how those notes informed special counsel Jack Smith and his team of what was really going on. Pence's notes elucidate just how much pressure he came under from Trump, especially in those final days leading up to January 6th. Maybe the most damning thing we know from those notes is that Pence was told by Trump that he was quote-unquote too honest after the VP said he did not believe that he could change the outcome of the election. So like him or hate him, Pence comes across as something of a hero in the pages of the indictment. Now, it's worth noting here that this may also have to do with Smith's reliance on Pence's notes to make the case against Trump. Everyone is a hero in their own mind and in their own notes. Pence repeatedly rejected the increasingly aggressive overtures from Trump, even as it became clear that the president was going to turn his vice president into a scapegoat for the failed attempt to steal the election. Whether he knew it or not at the time, Pence was saving the country, but destroying his own political career. How much he did on that former front shines through in the pages of the indictment. Takeaway 3. Jeffrey Clark is the villain. So if Pence is the good guy of the story, then Clark, who is a top Justice Department official, is the bad guy. As January 6th approached, Clark repeatedly disobeyed direct orders to avoid talking one-on-one to Trump. He pushed for the sending of a letter, which contained any number of falsehoods in it about the election, from the Justice Department to the states in order to stop or slow the certification of the Electoral College votes. He tried to strong-arm the acting Attorney General into sending that letter by saying that Trump wanted to make him Attorney General, but he would decline that job if the letter was sent. He eventually accepted the AG position anyway, only to have it rescinded once it became clear to Trump that such an appointment would cause mass resignations. And in the worst moment of the entire indictment for Clark, and there are a number of bad ones, an episode is recounted in which he is told by the deputy White House counsel that if Trump remained in office, there would be, quote, riots in every major city in the US. To which Clark responded, well, that's why there's an Insurrection Act. Jaw-dropping stuff. Takeaway 4. Rudy is a dolt. Former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani's fingerprints are all over the indictment. He's co-conspirator number 1. And it's clear that Giuliani was simply a lapdog for Trump, at the beck and call of the president and willing to say and do anything, literally, that the president asked for him to do. Giuliani crops up over and over again, making wild claims of false electors and overcounts of votes and all that sort of stuff. And he's repeatedly asked to provide evidence of the claims that he is making. He never, ever comes up with any. It's, in a word, pathetic. Takeaway number 5. Reporters got it right. One thing I was struck by in reading the indictment is how much of this we already knew. While Smith unearths a few tidbits, the main storylines are stuff that has been reported over the past 2 years by major media outlets, which is a testament to good reporting, and reporting that had to weather attacks all the way along from Trump, who insisted that it was all just fake news. So what? Of the 3 indictments of Donald Trump, this one is the most serious by far. It alleges that he willfully sought to overturn the result of an election, using the federal and state government to do so. It's big stuff.